Good morning, everybody. It's a rainy, yucky day here today, and I don't have to work today, so I am just chilling out and having a day to myself, and decided to do a reading and wanted to share it with you guys. Because as always, I feel like it's for more than just me. We are a collective, and as a collective, we are going through things, and we could all use a little guidance. So if this message isn't for you, just leave it. It's for someone else. But if it does have uh, meaning for you, you'll know it. And not all of it may be for you. It may just be certain parts of it. So listen to it, take what you need, leave the rest. Share it with anybody that you think might need the message. And let's get started. So again, I used all of my cards. Um, I pulled what I felt like I needed from each deck and laid them out, uh, and it creates a story. And I research the cards, see what each one has meaning, and then I also go with my intuition. Um, and it's neat how it ends up tying together a way that I see it in my mind when I start reading the meanings of the cards. it uh, it always uh, surprises me in a good way. So I feel like um, some of you have been going through a major upheaval in your life, going through recovering from the loss of a relationship. Um, you really don't understand why it didn't work out the way that it should have worked out. You thought that the person was your Two of Cups, your everything, and that you had found your life mate, and it just didn't go the way that you thought that it was going to go. And being the person that you are, you gave all of your heart, all of your soul, and you really had every intention of making it work, and it just didn't work out. And eventually you had to come to that conclusion yourself, but it was something that you really, really struggled with. Um, it isn't easy letting go of something when you've put your heart, your soul, um, all your energy, all your resources, your time, your effort, and then to watch it just crumble anyway. It's really hard. Um, the first card is the Ace of Wands, and with all that you've been through, with your heartache, you knew that it was time for a change. You want a fresh start. You want a new beginning. You don't want to feel the pain that you felt anymore. You don't want a part-time relationship. You don't want someone who's in and out. You don't want what you've had in the past. And you know that there's good things coming. The way I'm trying to do it without messing up my screen. But for those good things to come, the next one is your Six of Swords. For those good things to come, you're going to have to go on a journey. You're going to have to turn your back on the past. You're going to have to let all those feelings of hurt and sadness and pain go, because the longer that you focus on those things, the more they're just a part of your reality. And it's not easy when you've given a lot to a relationship, when you've really cared for someone and you've loved someone. It's very hard to turn your back on that, but you've got to find a way to release it. You've got to move on, move away. This is what they're doing. They're moving away. And she actually has someone that's helping her on her journey, that's guiding her. But as you can see, she's hunched over and she's still in protective mode. she can't even really acknowledge that that person's even there guiding her and helping her get out of the situation. So, um, it was such a disappointment. It was so sad. The problems, there were setbacks, there was always some drama. Um, but, a good way to help get over that is to focus on something else. Maybe go on a short trip. So things that can get better for you. Put your focus on something else. Take a little trip. Take a day trip. Take a weekend trip. Do something to bring the yum back into your life. And start being more aware of your surroundings and the people around you. There are good people out there, and just because you've had those people beat you up in the past doesn't mean that all people are that way. Protect yourself, yes, but don't do like she's doing and stay hunched over in protective mode and not see the surroundings around you. She's not seeing this beautiful landscape around her. She's not acknowledging the person behind her that's guiding her journey. She's just hunched down in protective mode. And we all have to be in protective mode sometimes. We all have to protect our hearts, but we can't do it to the degree that we're not experiencing life anymore. And I know the reason that you're going through this is because your emperor was in reverse. When the emperor's upright, he is everything. He's in control, he's loving, he's a giver, he's kind, but he can also be strict when he needs to be. He's a father figure, he's strong, he's the male role model. But when he's in reverse, he is immature, he's weak, he is wishy-washy, he doesn't know what he wants, and he's out of balance, and that will make you out of balance. So you have a reason for your pain. No one is saying that you don't. You have to acknowledge that, acknowledge what you went through, but you also have to be willing to release it and know that because he was bound doesn't mean that you're bound. Because he was going through issues doesn't mean that they're your issues. You are sovereign, and you have to understand where he was at on his path. You have to look and see his inner child and the traumas that he went through. And it doesn't excuse what he put you through, but it can help you better understand that it wasn't about you. It was never about you. He may have even really loved you in his own broken way, but he couldn't express that to you in a healthy way, and he ended up hurting you and wasn't willing to do the work on himself so that he stopped hurting you and gave you what you actually needed. But he wasn't at that level. Spiritually, emotionally, he was not on your level. So even though there was love there, it just couldn't work out. So you have to be willing to let that go. And to do that, the Four of Michael here, I love this card too. These are my angel cards. It's hard to see on the screen. With the Four of Michael, it basically tells you need to go inward and do some quiet reflection and meditation. Look at your part in things. Look at the things that you tolerated and ask yourself, why did I tolerate that? Why did I go through those things when I'm a good person? Well, you went through those things because you put yourself through those things. You actually signed up for this before you came here. It was a learning experience. It was a growth experience. And it was to push you out of your comfort zones and to make you realize your self-worth. Most of us have an issue. We can see the worth in others so easily, but we can't see the worth in ourselves, the value in ourselves. So we give and we give and we give and we do and we do and we do until we're just depleted of all of our resources. But we do that to ourselves. So with this card, go into hermit mode for a while if you haven't already. I've been in hermit mode for quite a while now. I've been doing all of this self-reflecting and recognizing my part in things and seeing where There were so many different red flags that I ignored. There was so many situations that I should have never tolerated that I just kept dealing with because I thought that I needed that validation from that external source. I thought I needed that person to love me and desire me and want me the way that I wanted them. But what I've learned from all of that is that I needed to love myself. I needed to desire myself. I needed to take myself out on dates. I needed to find my own inner joy and my own yum, and that it had nothing to do with an external source or another person. It had to come from within. So once you do that, once you find that inner peace, which it's not easy, guys. It's very hard to find inner peace. It's very hard to learn to be totally happy with yourself, to enjoy time with yourself, to be alone. Being alone does not mean lonely. Being able to be alone and to be totally content, it's a feat, but it is attainable. You just have to do the inner work to get there. And once you do that, you'll be able to find harmony, and you'll be able to recognize that good person when they walk into your world. You'll be able to accept love, and it'll be balanced. And I'm going to tell you, I was out here alone for quite a while. I was in the desert, literally and figuratively. And I was, like I said, in very self-protective mode. I was in hermit mode. And as I started coming out of that and felt like I was healthy enough to be in relationships again, I was at the Springs and I met this lady. I usually have my headphones on and I tune everything out because I just don't want to deal with energies. I've dealt with other people's energies for so long. I'm just like, no, I want to be protective. So I had my headphones on and, was getting my water, and there's two spouts there. So she's like, do you mind if I use the other spout? I'm like, no. And I had my headphones on, and then for some reason I just slipped my headphone off and I said, isn't this the most amazing water? And she's like, yes, it is. And then we started talking, and we stood there and talked for almost 2 hours. And ever since that day, we have been just such good friends. And she's the one that took me to Circus du Soleil. I always say things weird because I'm from Georgia. And she took me to my first hockey game, and we went, out to eat. We went hiking, and she just went out of the country, and I miss her so bad. But she's a real true soul connection. She's vegan too. She's like on my level spiritually. She's a soul connection, soul tie. But I was able to actually open myself up to that after all this just years of pain and isolation. Even when I was on that community, trying to build the community and had all those people around me, most of the time I was alone. They just weren't on my level. None of the people that actually came to my community were already vegan. They were all professing that they wanted to change, but ultimately they didn't want to change. I was still drawing damaged human beings because I was damaged, and dishonest people because I wasn't being honest with myself. And it was a big lesson for me, but I've fully reconciled from all of that. And that's why I'm doing the readings now and talking to people that are going through similar situations now to try to let you know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is joy on the other side. You just have to work yourself through all of this. And no one can do it for you. No one can make it easier for you. No one can even tell you how to do it. They can just give you suggestions, and then it's up to you on how you follow through with it and find your own way through this. This card goes right with what I was just saying about my friend. You'll be able to recognize traits in common with another in order to forge love-based connections. So when you meet those people that are tests, you're going to know it instantly. Your energy, you actually literally feel it in your energy force. And you'll try to make excuses and turn things around if you're not fully healed and reconciled with yourself, and you'll end up back in the same situation again. So when you first encounter someone and you feel that energy, if it is not a good, yummy feeling, that's your first warning that they're not on your level. And if you start talking to that person and they're not saying things that are on your level, if they're not, say that you're plant-based vegan and you're very spiritual and you're on a path and that's what you want to meet. If you meet someone and they tell you, oh yeah, I just went to McDonald's and this and that and this and that, and they start talking about 3D earthly things and it's mostly negative, then that's not someone that you want in your reality. It's a test. So instead of investing in that, walk away. You have every right to just walk away. We feel obligated when we don't need to feel obligated. There is no obligation for you to take any kind of interest or have any kind of connection with a person that's not on your level. You do that to yourself. So recognize the early signs and stop it right there. Don't invest further, because if you do, you're only bringing heartache on yourself and hurt to yourself. But on the flip side of that, if you talk to someone and you have all these things in common and it flows so easy, then open yourself up to that. Don't close it off and don't shut it down because you're afraid of getting hurt. You might miss out on the biggest blessing of your life. If I had taken my headphones off that day, if I would have done what I normally do and stayed in hermit mode, I would have missed out on everything I've already experienced with my friend. And there's more to come. She's out of the country right now, but she's coming back, and we're already talking about adventures. And she loves to travel as much as I do. In fact, more. She's doing international travel, which is my next step. So she's going to push me out of my comfort zone and get me to experience new things she already has. And then she'll get to experience things through me, even things that she's already experienced. Getting to watch someone else experience something for the first time is such a treat sometimes. So we would have missed out on so much joy. And the thing is, she's been through similar situations as me with relationships and was also not really in hermit mode as much as me, but protecting herself and, kind of wary of new friends because she's been through similar stuff. So we both had to open ourselves up to that. And I'm so glad that we did. So don't be afraid, but also learn to read energies, learn to feel the energies in yourself. Your body gives you extreme signals, and I'm going to tell you, if you keep going against it, if you invest anyway, you'll end up sick. That's what causes dis-ease, is our body is not in harmony. Our body is out of whack. It's trying to tell us, hey, there's something wrong here. Stop. So learn to listen to that, and you'll save yourself a lot of heartache. And this goes back to the beginning of the reading. You've been so hurt, so angry, you felt so alone, you felt like no one understood. You couldn't even really talk to someone about it, because another thing is that person that you were involved with comes across as a really good person. People like that person. People think, hey, what is wrong with you? Why did you walk away from that? They don't understand, so you haven't even really been able to talk to people about it. You've just been holding everything inside. But you've got to release all that, and you've got to accept your part in things. And once you start questioning, why did I put up with that? Why did I do that? Why did I make that person look so much better than what they actually were? And really dive into the feelings behind everything that you went through. Then you'll be able to release the anger and release the hurt. I mean, how are you going to stay mad at yourself? How are you going to stay hurt at yourself? Because it's you. It's not the other person. It's you. You're the one that tolerated those things. You're the one that made things look better than what they actually were so that everybody thought everything was fine. And then when you left, everybody was like, oh my God, what's going on? Why did you do that? You know, because you weren't expressing yourself. You weren't letting people know what was actually happening. You do what you always do. You had on rose-colored glasses, and you had everybody else with the rose-colored glasses on too. And then you want to jerk them off people's faces and wonder why they're upset. So release that. Release all the anger. Release all the hurt. Forgive yourself. And be open about things. If someone asks you, be open. Don't feed the negative stuff and don't stir it up, but also don't try to sweep things under the rug, and don't worry so much about preserving the other person's reputation. Just be honest. Be honest with yourself, and then you can be honest with others. And the next card, the Bobcat. It teaches you that there is true power and strength in silence and patience. In order to get what you want, you must be willing to plan, adapt, and above all, have the patience to see your dreams manifest. For a while, you gave up on your dreams. You had so much invested in this. You had so much hopes and everything riding on that. And then when it didn't work out, you're like, you feel just lost. You feel like the rug was jerked out from under you. You feel like everything that you were building, it was just, you watched it crumble, and it made you want to just give up on the dream completely. You're just like, I can't do this. I did so much, and now I just have nothing left. I have no energy left. I have no desire left. I just can't see a way out of this. And you just have to really, really love on yourself and really heal. And like I said, do the inner work. And once you start releasing all of that and forgiving yourself, then your path opens back up. You start feeling again which way you should go, what you should do, and you need to listen to that guiding voice. And it may not be easy. It may be a journey that you have to go on. You just have to listen to that inner guidance, and whatever it's telling you, you need to do it. You need to go. And it's not going to be easy. You don't have to rush. If you're facing a difficult situation, do not rush into making a decision. You're advised to turn the problem around in all possible manners before deciding on a solution. Your circumstances need to be examined carefully. So you're feeling like it's time. It's time for a change. It's time for your path to open back up for you, and it's time for you to go, but you don't really know where you're supposed to go yet. And that's where Spirit is asking you just to breathe, relax, enjoy the moments that you're in. And that's the thing. We get so caught up in the day-to-day things. We get so caught up in what's wrong in our world that we don't look at what is actually right in our world. So right now, I'm really stressing because winter's coming here. The rain's coming, and the rain really affects my body. Like, I stayed last year to help Charlie get situated and settled, and now he's got a footing. You know, he's still not 100% stable, but he's got a good footing. And I know that I have to travel. I'm supposed to be dropping and planting seeds as I go, and that it's going to have a final destination. I've been shown what I'm going to be building. It's just getting to that point, and it's very frustrating in the 3D form to know what the 5D spiritual form is supposed to be doing and to not be able to do it. So I'm sitting here with no vehicle. My vehicle is completely broken down, and no resources right now to fix it or to get another vehicle. But I'm being pushed spiritually. I can feel it to get back on my path. And it's like, okay, Spirit, what do you want from me? Well, what Spirit wants from me is to completely blindly trust, to have faith, and to enjoy the moments that I'm in now. I'm in a very beautiful place. I am safe. I have people around me that actually care about me, and I'm able to go to my part-time job. I'm able to do what I need to do to survive here. So I need to be grateful for what I have, and I need to be doing what I'm doing right now. I need to be connecting with other people. I need to be evaluating my own issues and going within and doing the inner work that still, I've done so much work on myself, guys, but it's a never ending process. That's why we're here. We're to grow and evolve and learn, but I get impatient. I get frustrated. I get all these different feelings, and then I have to work myself through those feelings. Just yesterday, I was having a day. I'm just like, I'm so ready for the next level in my story. I'm ready to go. I'm ready, Lord. What do you want from me? Why do you keep pushing me but not giving me the resources to do it? But I know I have to take a step back, and I have to breathe, and I have to learn to let flow and let go and let flow. And I was in a wreck last August, and it was the kid's fault. He was door dashing and bowed up and stopped in front of me, and I ended up rear-ending him. And I was driving a company vehicle when I did it. But he admitted what happened, so his insurance company has accepted liability. And because I was driving a company vehicle, workman's comp was also involved. So I'm going to get a decent settlement out of this. And my lawyers just started pushing for that settlement. They just wrote the demand letter about a week and a half ago. So I know that eventually all this is going to work out. Like, I'm going to get the resources. I'm going to be able to I'm going to get a camper van. That way I'm completely self-sufficient and I don't have to worry anymore. I'm going to get one that is completely set up for me. And then I'll be able to go do what I've been shown that I need to do for the next step. So all of this is eventually going to work out. And I know that it's just the human side of me wants it to happen now. But it's not supposed to happen until the right time, and I still have some growing and learning to do before that happens. And I know that's for my own protection, and that's where the human side of us, we get so determined that we're going to do something a certain way, and we get so determined that things should be this way, and then when they're not, our human side gets frustrated, and our human side gets mad, and all these emotions. So got to learn to just let go and let flow and release things. And also, there's somebody here I'm still supposed to meet, and I know that too. Um, Meeting the lady at the springs, if I had already left on my journey, I wouldn't have met her. And I feel like she's part of my journey now. So anyway, it's learning. It's a learning thing. It's learning to just let go and let flow. So let's see. Where's my other book here? The next part of our story, I meant to look this up before I started the video, and I forgot. So I see the way the card, it has a meaning to me as soon as I look at it, but I always like to look to make sure, because sometimes it gives me a little more insight too when I look at the meaning that the card actually has. Oh yeah. Okay, so Six of Sacred Circles. See that good. I'm gonna get a better filming setup eventually because I'm going to be doing more videos too when I start traveling again. I'm going to start an online blog and get more involved in my online presence. And I know that I have people that never leave their living room that like to live through my life. And honestly, I don't have a problem with that. I like being able to help people that way. Because I've been in a situation where I was stuck and couldn't get out and do things, and I push myself to do those things now. That's something that I deal with. I have a collapsing spine and fibromyalgia and all these other things that I deal with pain-wise every day, but I make myself get out and live anyway. And I don't mind letting other people live through me vicariously, however you say. I'm from Georgia, so everything I say sounds funny. But anyway, um, so this one is reciprocation, sharing prosperity with those who helped you become prosperous. The giving of receiving a gift, passing of wealth, and I feel like for those of us that have really done the work, that have been through the heartache and that didn't let it destroy us, didn't let us turn it into, really bad people. A lot of the people that are so bad and awful today have been hurt themselves. And instead of going in and doing the inner work and becoming better people for it, they devolve and become nasty. And we've all dealt with those kind of people. Um, but those days are over. Now we're going to start meeting the good people. Now the people that have supported us through this whole journey, we're going to start actually seeing those people for who they are and appreciating those people and loving those people. And there's going to be more and more and more of that. And our souls are going to heal. And we're going to find our true path and our true calling. And we're going to love life. That's what we're here to do, guys. We're here to love this earth and love each other and love life. It is not supposed to be the dark, horrible thing that the powers that be are turning it into. We've got to get away from that as a collective. We've got to turn our backs on it. We've got to not be involved in all the drama and trauma that they're causing. They're literally creating. So we can have heaven on earth. We are the new earth. The new earth is already here. We just have to see it and take our eyes off of the 3D and put it on the 5D. And we're going to meet someone. And that someone is going to introduce us to our true counterpart. And we're going to know it instantly. And that person is going to know us instantly. I love this card. You can see she's looking right at him. And he's facing towards her. He doesn't quite understand yet. He's been looking for her too. But once they connect, once you guys connect, nothing will ever separate you. You'll have your 2 of Cups. It's all a journey. It's all a journey. And once you do that inner work and that healing, then you find the other half of yourself that's also been through everything that you've been through in different levels, different ways, but they're going to understand you on such a soul level because they've been through similar things. They're going to be your best friend. They're going to be your confidant, your true counterpart, your soulmate, your true twin flame, not your false twin flame. And you've been through many lifetimes together. You went through lifetimes with your karmics too, but this lifetime you learned and you stepped away from the karmic. So you're going to actually find your true counterpart. You're happily ever after. And the reason you're going to find that is because you've actually reconciled yourself and you found it in yourself. So the last card, this is from my Thoth deck. It's the Dominion of Wands, 2 of Wands. And this is perseverance. Don't give up. Be determined. You've wanted to give up so many times and you haven't yet. Just don't give up. Keep pushing forward, keep fighting, keep doing the work, keep doing the healing, and all of this is going to work out. You've been on such a journey, and you've grown so much, and the things that you thought would destroy you have not destroyed you. You're still standing, you're still going, you're still pushing through. So just don't give up. But that's the message for today. Thank you for listening. I hope that you find peace. I hope that you keep continuing to do the inner work. I hope that you find the joy that you're looking for, whether it be a person, a place, whatever it is. Only you know that. I can tell you that if you don't find peace within yourself, you're never going to find peace without. You're never going to find that thing that makes you happy if you're not happy with yourself. Do something for yourself today. Spend 15 minutes with yourself, totally with yourself, doing whatever it is that makes you happy. Meditate, sing, write, do exercise, whatever it is. 15 minutes every day with yourself. And I love you, and I wish you nothing but peace and happiness. Namaste.